Hey friends, Josh Zaring here. Today, I believe is the last video in the series of me building a studio in the garage, and this is the final step for me. I'm going to be putting up the acoustical foam, so you'll hear less of this, which reviewing the other videos, it wasn't as bad as I had thought. It's probably because of the mic I'm using, the Rode Mini. But I'm going to cut to this real quick. I'm using 3M Super 77 to glue to poster board, and then I'm going to put it up on the wall with double-sided tape, which is also 3M. I know that's not like as releasable as the 3M strips, but I have a lot to do. So, and I'm going to be hanging it from the ceiling also. So I was going with the more cost-effective option. I have peeled this same tape off before, and sometimes you just need to scrape a little bit, maybe use a little rubbing alcohol on it, but it's not that bad. And realistically, I don't plan on taking them down. We are homeowners. If this were a rental, I would definitely use the 3M strips for sure. I may not even be putting them on the wall if it was a rental. So I'm going to show you how I do the backing and everything, how I put the things together and on the wall. And thanks for joining. It might be a little bit noisy out here because the street sweeper's gone by, but here we go. I have small poster board so I can just cut it and place it where I actually need it at spots. And I'm just, I have to cut this one down because I have this kind of a Z pattern. So I want to make it smaller so it doesn't stick out. And I'll just keep that piece because I'm going to need every little scrap. And right now I'm going to separate the foam so I don't get it on the front. And spray the adhesive on. So bright out here I can't even see where it's going. So this will hold my pieces. This will hold my pieces together. I don't want to see a gap, and if I just hang it straight on the wall, if I back all of these individually, hang it straight on the wall, I'm kind of worried about them not lining up right. So I'm just going to put them together before I put them on the wall. Test for tackiness. Okay, we're going to test for tackiness. Wow. Wow, that's very tacky. Okay. So I'm making a Z pattern. I did not screw this up. And I know it's 4 blocks. Press that down. Try not to glue the foam to the cardboard and bring it over here. You gotta kind of keep your sticky area at one spot here. So now I'm gonna make my Z. I'm doing it face up like this. I'm pressing down so I can actually see and line these up. Okay. Okay, now we'll see how well that holds. Wow, it held really well. I'm testing out the actual recommended stuff for acoustical foam because I used brush on rubber cement before, and that was very time consuming and it kept soaking into the foam. So now I'm spraying it onto this, which is a smarter thing to do, and my lines are straight. So now I'm gonna just cut some more of these, and that way I will be able to put the double-sided tape across here, little spots, as few as possible to hold it up. These can be pretty difficult to peel the backing off once you cut them. You really want to squeeze them onto there because that's what's holding the foam up. Everything you want to apply pressure to. I would ruin the foam if I peeled this up right now, so it's definitely applied. And that's pretty much it. Got a lot more of these to do, and I'm probably going to do a different sort of pattern on the side wall. But this is one of 2 pieces that I'm putting together for the back wall. I only really want 4 pieces on the back because it's just basically for reflections from the speakers, not from my voice, because I'm going to be facing the opposite direction. So now I peeled all the sticky tape off the backing, and I made 2 lines here so I can match the points up to it. And I'll just go to the top here, and I'm only fastening one of the little pieces of tape so I can come back down and line up this line, which is way off here, and hopefully that'll stay up there long enough for me to do this. It's helpful to remember also where your tape is, or just pound it everywhere like this. You can see I don't know if that'll settle, but I might need another piece there. And that's it for this one. In the next part, you will see it hopefully completely done, unless I run into some problems. I don't know how I'm going to do the sidewall yet. It's probably not going to be the same exact pattern, so I got to figure that out yet. So here it is, all completed. I did plan on putting a lot on the ceiling above the desk. I haven't done that yet, so technically I guess it's not completed. And I also built something called a gobo, which is I used 4 panels on a black backer board, which is just a black foam board. And you may have seen these, they're smaller. I'm gonna just pop up a picture here. You may have seen these for microphones, and this one is basically an enormous version of that I can put on a stand. It's like a V, and I can clip it to a stand, a light stand or a microphone stand if you put the boom horizontal. So I can put it directly behind the camera and the microphone and have the kind of everything in front of it, and all the reflections that are going out, like the immediate reflections, like will be blocked by both the foam backer, because like almost no sound goes through that. So it will kind of block it and absorb it at the same time. So that whole thing is basically so I can put it anywhere, like in the front of the room here where there is no panels, there's no panels up here, and pretty much anywhere, like in a corner, wherever I want. And then these are mainly to absorb the speakers and for voiceovers into this mic. You should hear a fair difference between what you're hearing now and when I was hanging the acoustical foam. I was also, what made the sound even more echoey is it was an on-camera mic, and just like now, and it was, you know, like 5-6 feet away from me. So that adds a lot of reverberation from the room into your recording. So that's another tip. You can sound treat your room. At the very least, I do recommend moving blankets, acoustical blankets, or doing what I did with the backer, the foam board backer. That way you can move it anywhere you want. I do recommend that because if you have it behind the microphone, it does really improve the sound a lot. And especially if you are in a rental or a temporary spot, it'll definitely help your sound. If you're considering treating your room, I would recommend, you know, just analyze what your needs are. I do also music recording, vocal recording, like music, voice, and voiceover. I do a lot, so I kind of needed at least one dead zone in the room where there's not a whole lot of echo. And you should be hearing a huge difference right now. The air did just come on, so hopefully you're not hearing that. Now, I have installed these a few times before, 2 different recording studios. I did run a music recording studio for approximately 10 years, and in the drum room in particular, it was kind of like a smaller room, like a boxy sound, so I literally covered it wall to wall. I bought the big like the huge panels, and that really improved the drum sound and made it really tight. Now this is mostly for YouTube and video, but it may appear that I went overboard here, but with the things that I do need it. If I were doing photography only, I might put some on the ceiling above where, you know, clients would be, just to cut down on the echo, because the reverberation of this room was pretty brutal at times. But otherwise, like if you are in a line of photography where, you know, you don't have clients visiting your studio, I honestly wouldn't worry about it at all unless you're really like irritated by the sound in the room. Now, this is converted from a garage, so we got a lot of hard surfaces, and I helped that a little bit by 2 area rugs and the acoustical foam, and it definitely, I can hear right now that it's a huge difference. I feel like I'm in a heavily carpeted room, and and it's just a whole lot better than when I started. I got all this foam. They are a manufacturer that actually manufactures the bulk of the name brand stuff. So when you order from them, this is not sponsored, by the way, and anyway, you probably already saw the little pop-up text. It's not sponsored, it's just I've been using this company for acoustical foam for a very long time, and even 10 years ago, I don't think that they raised their prices at all. It's just under $200, basically. Well under $200, I did everything in here. So it's called Foam Factory, and the website is actually foambymail.com. And I'll put a link in the description of this video so you can just easily click on it and check out their stuff. They have more than just pyramid. They have the more like sculpted look. They also have colors. I wanted to go with gray. My only gripe is I wish that there was a lighter gray, because I did like the brightness of this room. But it kind of matches my dark colored trim, so it kind of balanced itself out, really. I think it looks pretty good. And it's not like an aesthetic thing, it's a functional thing, but if it looks decent, that helps. So as usual, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I will answer it as soon as I see it. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe and tell your friends. It really does help. It helps motivate me to keep making videos, and I appreciate every single subscriber to date in the almost 2 years that I've been running this channel. And remember, create, share, repeat, and keep it awesome. I'll see you next time.